Right now at 4 o'clock, stabbed and strangled inside the Indiana Convention Center. The death investigation now underway downtown.
Hot day in progress as we're around 90 degrees. We've got an update on Francine and how much rain to expect.
It's never easy to learn about the misconduct of any coworker, especially when it involves supervisors.
Hell to the fire. Indy Mayor Joe Hoge was grilled today as he addressed sexual harassment complaints in his administration. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Thanks so much for joining us at 4 on this busy Thursday afternoon. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we begin with new details about a deadly stabbing inside the convention center.
Court documents released just a few hours ago say the victim was attacked and killed on the job. Our Chase Howell is looking through those documents and also learned the attack was reportedly unprovoked.
That's right. Those court documents also say that witnesses saw the man strangle that worker with some sort of rope or wire after stabbing him with the box cutter. It was business as usual at the convention center Thursday afternoon, but the day before, police were investigating a murder. The family of Alan Gosnell tells me he was working at the convention center the night he was killed. Court documents say another employee there heard Gosnell begging for his life, while the attacker was allegedly beating him in the face. That employee says when he came back from calling for help, the man wrapped a phone charger around Gosnell's neck and choked him to death. Police say multiple people called 911 and some even followed behind the alleged killer until officers arrived.
Don't approach that individual, making sure that you get the dispatcher, or if you see that officer, make sure that you get a good description, a direction of travel where they may be, their last known location, if they're carrying any weapons.
While no one at the convention center was available for an interview, they say the building has 24-hour security guards at each entrance, and off-duty IMPD officers patrolling the building. In another statement, they say Gosnell worked for them for over a decade and was a great friend to colleagues. As for those heading to the convention center this weekend, IMPD says they're prepared.
Officers will continuously be a presence as we were prior to this. Again, officers were fairly close when this particular incident happened. We had off-duty officers working near the convention center, as well as our beat officers who work downtown as well.
According to court documents, when police were talking to that man, he made some sort of comment that he was working for the CIA and just neutralized an international terrorist. Reporting here in Indianapolis, Chase Howell, 13 News.
All right, thank you for the details, Chase. In our other big story this afternoon, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hoge said in the hot seat, he's answering more questions about sexual harassment allegations that reportedly happened in his administration.
And about an hour ago, the mayor signed a proposal passed by the City County Council to create an investigative committee to take a look at all of it. Karen Campbell joins us live downtown. Karen, some tough questions for the mayor today.
Yeah, Dustin and Felicia. I mean, Mayor Hoge was grilled on a lot of things as it relates to those sexual harassment allegations that have been plaguing his administration. Now, Hoge began the meeting with a brief statement, just basically reiterating the safe and equitable work environment for employees before signing that proposal into law, establishing that investigative committee. Now, this committee is made up of 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans that will look into changes to human resources policies. For example, creating a separate branch of HR from the administration that specifically addresses sexual harassment and other discrimination-related complaints. And the committee also has the authority to subpoena witnesses and documents. Take a listen to what Mayor Hoge had to say earlier today.
It is the city's responsibility to make sure the more than 7,000 people who work for the city-county enterprise can identify what constitutes harassment, bullying, or any other form of workplace misconduct, and be confident that they can report such behavior confidentially and without the fear of retribution of any kind.
And Mayor Hoge also took some tough questions as it relates to why he allowed Thomas Cook to volunteer on his re-election campaign after two women came forward to allege that he sexually harassed them. Also, why it took so long to establish this committee. I want to bring in now my colleague, Emily Longnecker, who has also been following this story closely. Emily?
Yeah, we asked the mayor about his work with this investigative committee that council formed this week. You know, they're going to look into how the city handled these investigations into these allegations of sexual harassment. And as you mentioned, this committee has subpoena power. And what that means is they could subpoena the mayor himself. He could have to testify in front of this committee. And he was asked about that today. He said he intends to fully cooperate. He was also asked, will you be going before the committee as a witness or possibly a target of a complaint or investigation? And he wouldn't speculate on that. We also asked the mayor, journalists asked the mayor about ongoing investigations. We know from the mayor that there are 6 current investigations going on right now into complaints. He said that one of those complaints came up after, at the end of late July, after a cabinet meeting that he had with his high-level folks, and an employee approached him after that meeting and said they had a concern about another employee. So the mayor went to HR about that. One other question that was asked about the mayor, there have been some calls for him to step down, that people have lost faith in his ability to lead, and he said very firmly today, and you heard it, I have no intention of stepping down.
He did say that he has no intention of stepping down. In fact, he also talked about how he intends to, allow Hoosiers to restore that faith in his ability to lead. So coming up at 5, we're going to look into the timeline of all of this and also look more into these policies, guys.
All right, Emily Longnecker, Karen Campbell reporting live downtown Indianapolis. Thank you.
We'll see you again at 5. Other news this afternoon, Metro Police are asking for the public's help as they investigate a deadly shooting this morning on the west side. Detectives say they found a man dead shortly after 5 on West Michigan Street near Holt Road. Police detained a person of interest at that scene, but that person was eventually let go. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about what happened. All right, to Francine now, making its way through the south after slamming into the Louisiana coast as a Category 2 hurricane.
And now hundreds of thousands are without power as flash flooding concerns spread. Michael Yoshida has a look at the aftermath.
Dramatic rescue caught on camera when ER nurse Miles Crawford saw another man stuck in a truck submerged in floodwaters. He sprang into action. After running to his home to get something to break the truck window, Crawford waded into the flood and helped pull the man out.
I wasn't really thinking about my safety. I knew I'd be safe, and I knew that the officer was right there behind me in case we needed to get anybody else to come rescue me or anything.
Scenes like this played out across parts of Louisiana as Francine made landfall in Terrebonne Parish Wednesday as a Category 2 hurricane. With it, more than a month's worth of rain to New Orleans within hours, causing a rare flash flood emergency. Traveling became dangerous, and water rushed into homes. The Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office said they pulled 26 residents, many from their flooded homes Wednesday night.
We even had our protective dam up. We even had the sandbags up.
All of a sudden, we saw water starting to come in from all different areas of the house.
Hundreds of thousands are without power in Louisiana and Mississippi after windfall and trees ripped down power lines.
Well, it's certainly worse than we anticipated.
In Houma, Louisiana, the winds were so strong the roof of this flea market was torn off. As the storm moves inland, more than 10 million people from Arkansas and Tennessee to southwest Georgia and the Florida Panhandle could see flood-level rainfall. In New Orleans, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
My goodness, you get to see just how the strength of Mother Nature and how traumatic it can be.
And the heroics of the people down there.
For sure.
Man.
And oftentimes these remnant systems bring us some beneficial rain during the drought, during the middle of summer.
Yeah.
There will be some rain. I will say the trends are not our friend. And what I mean by that, it's weakening as it's going to bump into this high pressure system to the northeast. And as we've said the last several days, the rain zones could shift north or south. Unfortunately for us, they have shifted to the south and southwest noticeably over the past 24 hours. What's left of Francine, depression here. Boy, you can see Memphis getting just absolutely good soaker there. Nashville's going to get into the mix here. So this lead rain band will be moving south to north late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But even in the morning, It's going to be along and mostly south of I-74, and then it weakens as it runs into that high pressure system we were talking about. And then some hit and miss downpours through the weekend over southwest Indiana. The rest of us are going to really not see much at all. So here's the rain footprint. And again, compared to 24 hours ago, this whole thing has shifted south and southwest. So as accordingly, our forecast has as well. This is one model output, but just shows you how sharp this cutoff is going to be from heavy rain, Bloomington, Bedford, to very little around the metro area. We'll have the rest of the forecast ahead. Let's get you updated on that ride home from work with Matt Stanford.
Got a lot of slowdowns. I want to take you to the south side of the city. This is 465 where you meet I-65. You're looking westbound, but these eastbound lanes on 465, we've had a vehicle fire. It's starting to be reduced as a new fire truck just came in working on this fire, but earlier you could see some of that white smoke just behind the Dodge Ram there. But it is pretty slow headed eastbound right now. These are lanes that are still moving okay, but there was a cop car sitting there on the left-hand side, just kind of monitored things on both sides because things are pretty close there together. Now we'll take you to the east side of the city. We had a stalled vehicle out towards the Greenfield exit, so it's been fairly slow at times as you're going through the construction area on the east side. But the map, it's pretty red. When you're looking all across central Indiana, a lot of slowdowns. We're going to be talking more about the new accident there towards 69 and 465 here in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Matt. And we've got much more to come. Still at 4 o'clock, a billionaire's breathtaking view. The historic mission just completed 870 miles above Earth.
And a helicopter to the rescue. The way one pilot kept an alleged drunk boater from careening into a group of swimmers.